Hello everyone, this is ACHAIA Kaya, and we are in the Ace match, the last matchup of round one between Vile Gaming and the SC2Armory.com, and this is actually gearv0sh playing as the Purple Terran in the lower left here. gearv0sh is the brainchild behind SC2 Armory. He has put it up and running and has run a great community for a few years here now, and a community that I am actually a part of. But in the upper right, he is playing against this green Protoss, DoggPound, who is playing for Vile Gaming, and as of right now, he says, what website are you from again? So apparently he's not even aware of what website they're playing against, but there's a free plug for you, SC2Armory.com. It's a great community though. Like I said, I am a part of it, and I think it's absolutely wonderful. There's a lot of great people over there, and a great community for learning about the game and just discussing the different aspects of the game as far as strategy and like he said, stats, guides. It's a fan site. But anyways, we are in the Ace matchup, and once again, this is the last matchup for round one, and as of right now, SC2 Armory has a commanding 3-1 lead in round one, which if gearv0sh can pull out another win here, that will put SC2 Armory in a very good position to take down this exhibition match overall. But he has to get past DoggPound first, which unfortunately in the last game he was unable to take out DoggPound, despite the fact that he was able to snipe his Nexus and take out a decent amount of miners from his main base. There was just too many units outside of his base, and DoggPound was able to move in and just put the pressure on when he needed to, when gearv0sh's half of his army was out of position. But anyways, going into this map, this is Broken Steppes once again, which is a two-player map. So we'll see if either player, oh my goodness, in gearv0sh once again pulling all of his miners off of his mineral line. We saw him do that in game one, and it didn't seem to affect him too badly here. But anytime you pull that many miners off your mineral line, even just for a few seconds, it can actually severely affect the amount of resources that you have in the early game. But looking at the income tab, we can see that already there is about a 100 mineral advantage for the Protoss player, and that largely due to chrono boost. If gearv0sh can actually get his orbital command out, which he is working on right now, then the mules that he gets from that orbital command will actually help him catch up in that area significantly. But looking back at the entrance to his base, he does have one barracks up, 2 supply depots, although the second supply depot is just going down right now, and he does have 1 refinery up and running. So we may see, yeah, we are going to see a tech lab here very early. We'll see if he tries to go for some kind of a Reaper rush. This would be a little bit late for a Reaper rush, so I'm not expecting that. He did like the Marauder build last game. After he got that first tech lab out, he put basically like I think it was 2 Marines and 1 Marauder, which was able to defend against any early Zealots. So that's definitely a good way to go. But back at the base of DoggPound, he does have 2 gateways and a cybernetics core, which is very similar from the build he opened with the last 2 games. Of course, in game 1 he did differentiate from game 2 a little bit. In game 1, DoggPound went for the double robotics facility, whereas in game 2 he went for 1 robo facility with the robo bay, and then got a 3rd gateway, and then later in the game got a Twilight Council, although it looks like he's going to forgo the robotics facility altogether this game and just go straight for the Twilight Council. So we'll see if he tries to get some early Zealot legs or perhaps some blink. He does have 4 Zealots out on the map right now, and he was actually moving them for a second. I thought he was going to move out against gearv0sh, but it looks like gearv0sh actually going to take the offensive now. With only 2 Marines and 1 Marauder, he is going to push across the map here and try to put some pressure on the Protoss opponent that he is facing off against here, but I don't think this is going to be enough to do any significant damage, as there are 4 Zealots guarding the entrance to this base, and once he sees that, he is probably going to have to turn tail and run. He fortunately does have the concussion upgrade for his Marauders already, which, as you can see, slows those Zealots down so much, so he is actually going to be able to snipe one of these Zealots, it looks like, which is very unfortunate for DoggPound. But as you can see here, that infantry micro just key in keeping those Zealots at bay. But he says he hates that stuff, which I can completely understand. I don't usually play Protoss, but when I do play Protoss and I run against the Terran that's doing this, it is annoying as crap, which we may actually indeed see him go for the Zealot leg upgrade, as that is actually a pretty good counter to that, and it looks like there is charge upgrading right now. 3 more Marauders coming out for gearv0sh right now, trying to counter this build though with the Stalkers and the upgrade for the Zealot legs. It looks like DoggPound may be alright if he's able to get those out quick enough here, although with these Marauders starting to pile up for gearv0sh, he is going to need to respond quickly to take out those Marauders, and it looks like there is a Ghost being built as well. So once EMP is in play, that is actually also going to reduce the efficacy of these Protoss units, obviously, because if they don't have shields, it takes a lot less time to kill them. And it looks like, once again, trying to micro against these Protoss units, although the Stalkers were able to micro down one Marauder. So it looks like gearv0sh is going to back off, at least for a second here, waiting for this Ghost to get up into play. And he may wait until there's enough energy on there to move out so that he can actually cast an EMP. Although, no, he is going to back up into his base. But going back to his base, he does have another barracks going down right now. He has a factory up and running, and he is getting a starport. So it looks like we are going to see medevac play here very soon. And I would definitely expect to see a few more Ghosts come out, because EMP, as I mentioned, is so crucial against the Protoss army. And it looks like Zealot legs is almost finished, so he is going to have a great amount of ability to deal with these Marauders with the concussive shells, because even with the concussive shells, if the Protoss player has the upgraded charge ability for the Zealots, it is still very difficult to deal with those Zealots, specifically because those Zealots can still get us around on you. And with that micro that you saw earlier from gearv0sh, where he basically tries to take a shot and back up, slowing those Zealots down, preventing them from getting close enough to actually do any damage, with that Zealot charge ability, even with the concussive shells, they cannot get far enough away from the Zealots. That charge ability just lets them get in so close, so quick, that it's just impossible for them to get away from a decent amount of Zealots. But it looks like there's actually a decent sized Protoss army here starting to build up. 3 Zealots, 3 Stalkers, and 3 Sentries, 3 Stalkers, and it looks like about 12 Zealots, which that's a lot of Zealots to go up against these 11 Marauders. We'll see how this plays out here. There is 1 Ghost out on the map right now, or at least out with this army right now. There is a second Ghost somewhere on the map, but it doesn't appear to be with this army. Oh no, it is. It's just hiding. Those things are so small, it's hard to spot them sometimes. But he did get an EMP off on a lot of these Zealots, and backing up, trying to fire shots here and there to take out as many of these Zealots as he can, but they are just closing in with the use of that charge ability and putting down force fields, blocking those last few Marauders from escaping. And it looks like there's only 3 Marauders to defend against the remaining Protoss forces, which they are going to back off for the time being. But the Ghost, oh no, apparently there was a Ghost still out there, which he got focus fired down very quickly. gearv0sh unable to save that poor Ghost. But there are 5 Marauders waiting for this Protoss army out at the entrance, although there are a lot of Stalkers coming up right now. So there's going to be a decent amount of ranged units to try to break down that entrance if he so chooses. And he is researching blink, so we may actually see him just try to walk up into that ramp and blink right past the Terran army here and get us around on those on those Marauders rather. And we do see that he is sticking with this very heavy infantry army. No siege tanks out, and he does not even have a tech lab yet. So it looks like he is pretty much going to be relying heavily on medevac infantry. So we'll see how that plays out for him. That's a little bit different from what he's been going with the past couple of games. He has involved siege tanks a lot in his builds as well. But we'll see if he's able to change it up a little bit and get something going here and take down this second win. He does have a command center floating over to the far side of the map here. I'm not sure if he's going for the yellow minerals here, which would definitely give him a little bit of an edge on the Protoss player DoggPound.